राधिका सरोदइन्दु निन्दिमुखमण्डली कुण्टले विचित्रवेणी चम्पपुष्पशोभनी नीलपट्टयङ्गशोभे ताहे आड ओटनी वन्दिये श्रीपादपद्म वृषभानुनन्दिनी वन्दिये श्रीपादपद्म वृषभानुनन्दिनी वन्दिये श्रीपादपद्म वृषभानुनन्दिनी तरुण अरुणजीनि सिन्दूरेरमण्डली यैचेयालिमात्तभरे मालयाज गन्धिनी भूरुरभङ्गिं कोटि कोटि कामगञ्जिनी वन्दिये श्रीपादपद्म वृषभानुनन्दिनी खञ्जना गञ्जनदीति पङ्क्तिं सुचाहनी अज्ञान रञ्जितताहे कामसार संधिनी तिलपुष्पजीनिनाश वेसर सुडोलनी वन्दिये श्रीपादपद्म वृषभानुनन्दिनी पक्वविश्वफलजीनि अधर सुरंगिनी दशनद विश्वबीज नियतिशोभनी वसंत कोकिलाजीनि सुमधुरबोलनी वन्दिये श्रीपादपद्म वृषभानुनन्दिनी कनकमुकुरजीनि गन्ध युगशोभनी रत्नमञ्जिरपाय पातर जडोलनी केसर मुकुट हारौर पर जोलनी वन्दिये श्रीपादपद्म वृषभानुनन्दिनी कनककलशजीनि कुचयोगशोभनी करिवार करजीनि बहुजुग दोलनी सुललिता अंगुलीते मुद्रिकार साजनी वन्दिये श्रीपादपद्म वृषभानुनन्दिनी गज अरि जिनी माजा गुरुय नितास्विनी तापर शोभित भाल कण केर किंकिनी कणक उलट रंग भजानु युग शोभनी वन्दिये श्रीपादपद्म वृषभानुनन्दिनी हंसरा जगति जीनी सुमंथ प्रचलनी रातुल चरणे राज कणय सुपंजिनी युगल चरण शोभयावक सुरंजिनी वंदिये श्रीपादपद्म वृषभानुनन्दिनी वंदिये श्रीपादपद्म वृषभानुनन्दिनी वंदिये श्रीपादपद्म वृषभानुनन्दिनी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा everybody कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे प्लीज नो टॉकिंग हरे राम 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 हरे हरे राधे 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 गोविंद राधे गोविंद राधे गोपाल राधे 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 गोविंद राधे गोविंद राधे गोपाल राधे जयो राधा वृंदावन चंद्र राधा वृंदावन चंद्र श्री राधे जय राधा वृंदावन चंद्र राधा वृंदावन चंद्र श्री राधे जय गोपाल नाथ जी जय श्रीनाथ जी जय गोपाल नाथ जी जय श्रीनाथ जी जय गौरानिताय 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 जय गौरानिताय जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा जय प्रहलाद नरसिंह जय प्रहलाद नरसिंह जय Prahlad Narsingha Jayo, Prahlad Narsingha. Vande Rupa Sanatana Prabhu Jugo Shri Jeev Gopal Ko Vande Rupa Sanatana Prabhu Jugo Shri Jeev Gopal Ko Jaya Prabhupada 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 Srila Prabhupada. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivajagacharya Ashtottara Shata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya Acharya Guruvar ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Radhashtami Maha Mahotsav ki New Vrindavan Dham ki Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare. So, as we have been throughout the day celebrating the appearance of Srimati Radharani, we continue into the celebration throughout the evening, and some uh, information about Radharani uh, and her appearance, some basics. So everybody, especially those who come from the Indian background, have heard of Radha and Krishna, right? But who are Radha Krishna? Most people know, have information um, that Krishna is the Supreme Lord, and but very few have information. Can somebody close those doors, please? I'll really appreciate it. There's too much noise coming from the lobby. Thank you so much. One thing we all have to learn is to respect religion. We fail to do that. And then a lot of the Hindus or the Sanatan Dharmis, they complain that now the Sanatan Dharma is, is depleting. The other religions are taking over. And who is to blame for it? Us. We do not educate ourselves, nor do we educate our children about our wonderful Vedic culture. Actually speaking, the entire world, or known as Bharatvarsha, was all Sanatan Dharma at one time. Slowly, the consciousness of the mass of the population of the world started taking a polluted, the door is still open. I think you need to tell Abhay Prabhu. We actually, honestly, instead of speaking Radharani's Katha, I should be kind of touching upon some basic etiquette in our temple, respecting our own faith, our religion. We really don't have that, unfortunately. And then we complain that Islam is taking over, Christianity is taking over, the Christians came over, they preach, and they simply convert. We have such a rich wealth of Vedic culture that under no group or other faiths there is so much information about God. A lot of them say God is great, but our Divine Krishna Prabhupada said they don't know how great God is. If you ask somebody from other faiths, not to point out anyone in particular and not to disrespect anyone, if we say, can you tell us the name of God? Oh, God is God. But if you ask the persons who are well versed with the Vedic scriptures and with the Sanatan Dharma, which is translated into English as eternal, Sanatan means eternal, and Dharma means the constitutional position or a particular belief. So we are to blame for this. Supposing most of you all may have not in this room visited a church or a mosque, but maybe you may have seen a clip in a movie that when a Maulvi or a priest in the mosque is praying, leading the prayers, there's pin drop silence and all are following by repeating the verses of the Quran. The children are not playing like this. Whose child is that? Where is your father and mother? Are the children, when there is prayers in the mosque, they are playing around in the aisles? They don't do that. When the Christians, when a father is giving a sermon, there is pin drop silence. Nobody moves around. And if we don't learn to respect our own religion, our deities, our Hari Katha, our Kirtan, what do we expect from our children, that this generation and the next and the next? They will certainly all become atheists or they will change their faith. Because we cannot answer their questions. The children ask a lot of questions. Father, why do you take the name of Krishna or Govinda or Ram? Grandma, tell me the meaning of the word Ram. How many of us know the meaning? And that is why His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, he has formulated this International Society for Krishna Consciousness to teach us what we have forgotten, so that we can give a legacy to our children and grandchildren and so on. We need to learn ourselves free. Which good college or institution gives you free education? If you go to IIT in India, Stanford, Harvard, John Hopkins, all these great universities, the fees are humongous. Here we get free education on Vijnanam or science. Science means not the science that we learn in school colleges, which is physics, chemistry, biology. No. In Vedic culture, the word Vijnan means Vishesh Gyan iti Vijnan. Vishesh means very special. And Gyan means knowledge. And what is that special knowledge? Who am I? Where do I come from? Where will I go from here? What is my eternal constitutional position? What is the highest dharma of mankind? These are the answers that are given in Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and our Vedas. And nobody understands the Vedas, but His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada took so much labor in translating each and every word of the most essential part of the Vedas, Srimad Bhagavatam. 18,000 verses. Day and night, he labored for us. So take this opportunity. All you have to do is, we all have this habit of taking our smartphones first thing in the morning and all day out throughout the day, and at night also before going to sleep. Wherever you are coming from, you have come a long way, driving into these mountains. So take something home, especially when you come to a tirtha or a dham. When you go back home, once a week, in no matter which town you are, you will find, all you have to do is Google Hare Krishna near me. And you will find free education every weekend. Every weekend there is some nice katha that will give us this education. And then we can pass on this to our children and make life successful. It is nothing to do with sectarianism. We are not talking about that we are Hindus. No, we are Sanatan Dharmis. It's the religion of the soul. And the soul is connected with Krishna. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Mamayamsha Jiva Loka Jiva Bhuta Sanatan. All of us, the soul or the jiva, is a part and parcel of Krishna. We have a connection. And as long as we are connected with Krishna, then our lives are meaningful. Just like sometimes we find a little screw that has fallen on the ground and we don't know what its correct position or place is, then it ends up in the garbage. But if we know that the screw came out of this computer or from this chair or maybe from an instrument like a harmonium, and when we put it back in its place, then that is its optimal use. So if we are not connected to Bhagavan or Krishna, then our lives and our existence is as good as garbage. It's useless, non-meaningful. Everything that we do in this material world, we will have to leave behind. Our money, our material education, our family members, our friends, everything. Not only that, we came with a body from our mother's womb, but when we leave, we will not even have that. Then what is the purpose of the soul? The soul is distinctly separate from the body. And the purpose of the soul is to connect to Krishna. Krishna is one of the most apt names of God. Krish plus Na equals Krishna. Krish means to attract and Na means all. And Bhagavan is the Lord, the Supreme Lord or God is so wonderful that he can attract everyone. Therefore, one of the most appropriate names of God is Krishna. Now, in our Vedic culture, we get so much information. Like I was telling earlier, that most faiths don't have any idea. They just say God or they say Allah. And please don't talk in the temple room. Hare Krishna. Thank you. We have information of the names of God. God is unlimited and there are unlimited names, but we have the names of God. Like one of the most apt names, as I mentioned, is Krishna. We know Krishna's father and mother's name. In other faiths, we don't even know the names of God, what to talk about their parents. And in most faiths, we find like the Mayavadis that they have not even seen God. Formless, without any attributes. Nirgun, Nirakar, as they say, even in a certain section of Sanatan Dharma, known as the Brahmavadis or Mayavadis. But those who are most fortunate know the family, just like a very famous person or a president or prime minister, if you know him personally, isn't that a big thing in the material world? Oh, the friends will say, he knows the prime minister, he knows the president. What to talk about if somebody knows personally the president's family, his wife, his children, his mother, his father? Similarly, we are the only Sanatan Dharma and the Vedic culture of the Vaishnava has the only place where we have all this information. Srila Prabhupada used to say, take this, here is Krishna. The beautiful form of Krishna, the cowherd boy. He's playing Barhavata Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandarpa Koti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. He has his head is beautifully bedecked with a peacock flower. He's playing the flute. If somebody in any other faith, we say that the God plays the flute and he has a peacock feather, sometimes they will laugh. But they don't know how beautiful the Supreme Lord is, and we have to go by what Sadhu, Guru, and Shastra says. Similarly, we have information that the Supreme Lord has many energies. Many, many different energies. The energies of the Lord can be divided into external and internal energies. Bahiranga Shakti and Antaranga Shakti. Bahiranga Shakti comes in the form of material nature. Like we find that material nature is comprised of the three modes of material nature: tamogun, rajagun, and satogun. The mode of ignorance, the mode of passion, and the mode of goodness. And everything in this material world is a permutation combination of these three. That is also Krishna's energy. But we also know from those great devotees, those great personalities who have actually seen God, seen Krishna, associated with Krishna, played with Krishna, what he exactly looks like and what he exactly does. One of the other component which I mentioned of the internal is internal energy of Krishna, Antarangat Shakti. Those are headed by Srimati Radharani. Srimati Radharani, if one can visualize this, is the joy potency of Krishna. Allah means joy. So if supposing, let's say I give you an example, if we had by some magical power, we can expand ourselves into different forms and the moods that we may have. Every person has different moods. Sometimes the person is very humorous, laughing, joking. So we take that personality of the laughing and joking and we give it a form and a shape, etc. If there is a personality, we all have anger in us, and if we take that personality out and give it a form, the form of anger. Similarly, the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna has its blissful form personified, that is Srimati Radharani. So she comes out of Krishna's own transcendental body, but she is bliss personified, Anand personified. Personified means in the form of a person that gives special and highest pleasure to Sri Krishna. That is Srimati Radharani. Radha, Radhika means what? I explained the meaning of Krishna. What does Krishna mean? Can anybody quickly tell me? Except you. And of course, except you, Prabhuji. It's the general. What does Krishna mean? I just explained that literally. Sorry? One who attracts all. Very nice. What does Radha mean? Or Radhika mean? Yes? Yeah, she is love personified. But that's not the meaning of Radha or Radhika. Raga adhika iti Radhika. The topmost love of deep attachment towards Krishna is known as Radhika. Adhika means highest or topmost. And rag means deep attachment. Raga adhika iti Radhika. Radha, what does it mean? Again, the word Ra means rag. And Dha means dhavyati, to run. She runs with love to Krishna every moment. Whether Krishna is present or not, she is always thinking, feeling, willing, with so much deep attachment to Krishna. That is the meaning of Radha. There's so many different meanings. I'm just explaining because of the time constraint. I have exactly 15 minutes left. So we should know these things so that we can pass it along as a legacy to our children, grandchildren, etc. Otherwise, we will definitely lose them. 100%. Next 20, 30 years, the things, the way they are going, you know, Sanatan Dharma is going to be completely depleted, like history will repeat itself. Again, the Mughals, as they had invaded India, the English had invaded India, and and not only India, took all over the world and imposed Catholicism or Christianity. Same thing is going to repeat. And it is going to be our misfortune because we have so much vast treasure. Srila Prabhupada came and can you believe this? Srila Prabhupada used to sometimes very humorously say, when he brought his white elephants, meaning his white disciples, to India, Srila Prabhupada would very nicely say that the Indians love imported stuff, imported watches, imported, jewelry, so many imported things. So I brought you imported sadhus to teach you about Krishna. It's a shame, if I may, the Westerners know more about Krishna than most Indians, those who are from ISKCON. They can teach us more about Krishna, and that is where I learned my Krishna consciousness. Although I was born personally in a Vaishnava family, but there was no preaching. Actually speaking, we were born personally in the Pushti Marg Sampradaya of Sri Vallabhacharya, where Srinathji is worshipped. But there was no preaching. We never understood who is Krishna. For us, all gods are same. That is what we were taught by our parents, by our neighbors. In our schools, because we studied in the Catholic schools, when we studied history, our historians the history books were written by the English scholars about India, and they called Ramayana and Mahabharata mythology. Myth is a Greek word. Myth means something that does not exist. Very painful to hear that, and we accept that. And even today, most Indians accept that as mythology, something that is not truth. No, Ramayana is a fact. Mahabharata is a fact. Krishna, just 5,000 years ago, he was in Vrindavan. He performed his pastimes. And not only that, he repeatedly performs. Every 10,000 Dwapar Yuga, he keeps coming. And he performs his pastimes. And those who are most fortunate will understand his most intimate pastimes. His most intimate pastimes are with his beloved Srimati Radharani and her friends. Not everybody is fortunate to have that information, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is on the left side, the second deity, he came here 500 years ago, in the mood of Srimati Radharani to teach the highest devotion, because there is nobody who has as much devotion and love for Krishna as Srimati Radharani. So Radharani herself, Krishna himself came down in the mood of Srimati Radharani to teach his own devotion. There are so many different followings even in India, in Sanatan Dharma, but there's none like Gaudiya Vaishnavism. And this is not something to kind of, condescend or put any other faith in a lower strata. It is what it is. And if you want to understand that, pick up Srila Prabhupada's books. Srila Prabhupada compiled over 100 books, translated them from Sanskrit, from Bengali. And as we read, with profound evidence from the Shastras, who is Krishna? Who is Krishna in Vrindavan? Who is Srimati Radharani? So we have to take that effort and understand that. This morning, I don't know how many of you all were in the class, but there was very detailed information that we shared that we generally would not in general public. Because the only thing is that most people are not prepared to comprehend such higher topics. But to put it simply, Radharani appeared. Krishna, their original home is in Golok Vrindavan. It is in Vaikuntha, the topmost planet. How many have heard the word Vaikuntha? Please raise your hands. What does Vaikuntha mean? So supposing if your child asks you that, except those who are the regular attendees of ISKCON, I would like to open up this question to our visiting guest. What does Vaikuntha mean? And please don't feel shy. This is not an exam. If we are wrong, we are wrong. It's not a big deal. Not you. Sorry, you are overqualified. Yes. You all raised your hands in the back. What does Vaikuntha mean? Sorry? Krishna's home. Yes, that's true. But what does it actually mean? So, Vai means no, nahi in Hindi, or no in English. And Kuntha means anxiety, chinta in Hindi. Where there is no anxiety, that is place is known as Vaikuntha. This material world is Kuntha Jagat, full of anxiety. Why? Because here everybody must die. Even if we want to live long, we cannot live long. It is forced on us. Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, Dukkha, Dosha, Anudarshanam. These are the words of Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. Birth also, it is not by choice in one sense. It is based on our karma. It is forced on us. Death is forced on us. And in between birth and death, there are two more big problems while we are present: old age and disease. Jara and Vyadhi. They are forced on us. This is Kuntha Jagat. But in Vaikuntha, there is no birth, there is no death, there is no old age and no disease. Everybody lives a blissful, eternal form of life, serving the Supreme Lord in whatever form of Lord one desires to serve. So if somebody has a lot of faith in Lord Ramachandra, when they pass away and their consciousness is purified, they will enter into the spiritual Vaikuntha Ayodhya. Those who are devotees of Krishna, Vasudev Krishna, the Krishna who spoke Bhagavad Gita, when they leave their bodies and if their consciousness is purified, they will end up in Dwarka. But those who have full faith, conviction, and love and affection for Krishna of Vrindavan, then they will end up in the topmost Vaikuntha planet known as Golok Vrindavan. And that is why the most simplest way of attaining that is by chanting the Golokera Prema Dhana, Hari Nama Sankirtana. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. I don't think the sound vibration went even up to Govinda's or outside where we took prashadam. Let's try this again. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This sound vibration is known as the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. It does not come from this material strata. It comes, Srila Prabhupada has said that it comes from the transcendental abode of Krishna known as Golok Vrindavan. Narottam Das Thakur also says this, Golokera Prema Dhana Harinama Sankirtana. This Harinam Sankirtan. And what does Sankirtan mean? This question is open to all. Yes? Congregational chanting is one external meaning. Anybody else? Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhu, but that is also external. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Prabhupada's Gurudev has explained the beautiful meaning of the word Sankirtan. Yes, what you all have said is correct. But Sankirtan, if you break it down in Sanskrit, it is Samyak Kirtan iti Sankirtan. Two words, Samyak plus Kirtan. Samyak means full, complete. So what is that complete Sankirtan? Sankirtan means where there is Radha, Krishna, and their associations present in those transcendental sound vibration is Sankirtan. So the word Hara, this morning we explained what does Hara mean? What does Hara mean? In the Hare Krishna, what does Hare or Hara mean? Not Radharani alone. That is also simplified information that Srila Prabhupada gave, because those were the old days. Very nice. It's the associates of Srimati Radharani along with Srimati Radharani. Namna Makari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis. Who is saying this? Krishna of Vrindavan. My own internal potencies. So in that, we find in the word Hara, all our acharyas are present as the associates of Srimati Radharani, including Srimati Radharani. So when we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Radharani is so humble that she doesn't want her name to explicitly come forward. She always says, that is the position of Srimati Radha. She encourages devotees. A Kanishta or somebody who is a knee science will want everything for themselves. Darshan also, they will push 50 people and I want to see. But instead of taking the older people ahead or children ahead, come forward. That is the nature of Srimati Radharani. You want to serve Krishna? Go ahead. Go serve Krishna. We find that most of us, we have this Kanishta mentality, this low knee science mentality, because that's what we have been associating since time immemorial. And that takes, even when we take to Krishna consciousness, it translates into sense gratification, even in the name of Krishna consciousness or bhakti. It's all about me, not about others. And that is known as aparadha. Aparadha, one of the meanings of aparadha that we have heard means aparadha, means the opposite of Srimati Radharani. Radha, aparadha, aparadha. So Radharani doesn't want her name to be specific. Take all the names, all my associates. Chaitanya Charitamrita Krishnaraj Kaviraj Goswami says, Sakhi vina lila vistar nahi. Without the gopis, the other gopis, there is no expansion of the leelas of Radha and Krishna. Sakhi vina lila vistar nahi. So that is why we have the word Hara, that we are begging them that please, I'm engaging in different activities in this material world, I'm not satisfied. But now kindly engage me in Vraj Seva. Thank you very much. So that is the quality of Srimati Radharani, that most kind, Karuna Karumai, Karuna Bharite, Sanaka Sanatana Varnita Charite, Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. So thank you all very much for patiently listening. And the program will continue with some wonderful kirtan. And then there will be Sandhya Arati, followed by more kirtan, bhajans, and there will be offerings to Srimati Radharani during Sandhya Arati. So it's a very, very wonderful, blissful day. Srimati Radharani ki, Gaur Premanande, His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna.